Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof!
G'day, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crank.com. So tonight, wherever you are, with great pleasure that we got Craig Gowans of Bleed From Within, who are due to release their latest album, Zenith, April 4th through Nuclear Blast. It's an absolute bloody fucking ripping album. You guys never fail to just keep hitting that peak and pushing the bar. Thank you so much for joining me to chat about it, mate.
Thanks for having me, mate.
I'm absolutely loving it. I love the last album, Shrine. Love all the stuff you guys brought out. But this album is an absolute bloody ripper, and it does, after 20 years in the scene, kind of mark a pivotal moment. Hence the name Zenith for you guys as well. What does this album mean to you personally and to the band as a whole?
It's something we've been working towards for a long time, and we're all super proud of it. But the name kind of means like your highest point, but we also see that as like something to constantly strive for. It's not just where we are now, it's like we constantly want to be looking forward and trying to constantly top ourselves. So it's a sort of reminder of the work that we've done until now, but also a reminder that we need to keep working to keep going where we want to go.
Yeah, well, I did have that feel to the album with the lyrics both being, quite aggressive, but there's also like themes there of reaching new heights, but also recognizing there is still room to grow. How did this, mindset influence the songwriting and recording process?
Well, it's funny, the album actually had a different title when we first started writing it. It was originally called Zero.
Yep.
That's the first time we ever had a title before we started writing music. So we wrote the music with that in mind, that we'd go back to zero, back to the bands that inspired us to be in a band in the first place, and sort of wear our original influences on our sleeves. And that's how we wrote the whole album. And then it got to the time to like hand in the masters, and that's when Linkin Park put out From Zero, and we felt it was just too similar, and we had to like think of something else. But Ali had Zenith in the back pocket for a while, and I think he wanted to call a song that at one point, but he explained what it meant, and we're like, that's perfect.
Yeah, and you guys have always balanced that heaviness with the melody there. Tell me a little bit about, as a guitarist, kind of how you approach that balance kind of in your riff and arrangements.
I think I get that from bands like Killswitch Engage. I think Alive or Just Breathing was one of the first like heavy albums that I heard back in the day. And I didn't know you were allowed to do that, like have heavy riffs and like beautiful melodies. And I think that really stuck with me and really affected me when I was younger and like learning to play guitar. So it's again, that comes from the bands that were around when we first started, like 20 years ago, like bands like Killswitch, Lamb of God, Pantera, Slipknot. They were all like coming up then, and that's like it just stays with you, and you can't it can't help I can't help it like making its way into the music even now, 20 years later.
Yes, and then like 20 years later, you're now sharing the stages with some of these guys, and then you've got people like Bran appearing as a guest feature on the album as well. So it must be pretty cool to be able to have, and Wes Horch from Alluvial kind of done some stuff on this, and so many other great artists. Tell me a little bit about kind of getting these guys involved and having them in the album.
It's so surreal, man. Like having some of your like your heroes like on the album. But Bran got involved because we met him on the Headbangers boat cruise that we did with Lamb of God. Mastodon were on that, and we're obviously all huge Mastodon fans, have been for a long, long time. And we noticed Bran was watching one of our sets, and we got chatting to him after. And turns out his son is a big fan of the band, and yeah, he's a super nice guy. And when it came to write the song, we're like, man, let's just reach out. And he was well up for it, and he absolutely smashed it. So that's mental that that's happened. But I always like to get guitarists that I love and look up to play on our songs. And like we had the pleasure of having Vogue on the last album, and I was like, fuck it, man, I was gonna ask Wes, and he was well up for it, man. He's such a funny guy and such a nice guy. So it's so cool having like one of my favorite guitarists play on one of our songs. And we've got Rabia doing a solo on the last track as well, which is like one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. So it's super cool.
Yeah, when I seen he was on there, I was pretty stoked as well because you guys absolutely rule in my books. But Alluvial are just fucking unreal as well. So it was just a match made in heaven for me, man. It must be fun for you to kind of have these guys come over and go, hey, man, kind of come on the album as well and label mates with Nuclear Blast too.
Yeah, I love Olivia, man. It's just the riffs are insane, the solos are insane. We played a show with them in Milwaukee last year, and it was so cool getting to see them, man. Just in this like small venue, it was unreal. And getting to speak to Wes after, he's such a funny guy. So yeah, so happy that he agreed to do that.
Yeah, and then also had Josh Oscillosis kind of come over and perform a feature. I just seen them recently in Australia. That was bloody an unreal bloody show. What was it like getting him? I suppose it was pretty easy with Ali there, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been good friends with Josh for a long, long time, and we'd got that song remixed from when we released the single for the album, so we thought we needed to do something just to make it a bit different. And yeah, Scott asked Josh to do a feature on it, and he smashed it as well. He's got such a unique voice, so it's cool to finally have him on a song after knowing him for like almost 20 years.
Yeah, and there's some, as I mentioned, some of the lyrics on Zenith are pretty empowering and motivational, and then just so others kind of just slam the fucking hell out of you, man. Kind of, is there any tracks that kind of resonate with you and kind of stick out for you?
I love In Place of Your Halo. Obviously, everyone's heard it, the bagpipes, but we've had that one in on the back burner for a while now, and it was fun to finally get some bagpipes in a song and use some of those riffs that I've had for a while. So yeah, that's definitely a standout. I love Immortal Desire, the one with Bran on it. I've always wanted to write a song around a choir, and we were fortunate to get Choir Noir involved, who are like a choir collective in the UK. And yeah, they took the parts and just like smashed it because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to write choir parts. So luckily, those guys do, and they absolutely smashed it. So yeah, that's probably my two standouts. But it changes all the time, man.
Yeah, it's like a child. When that track dropped, it was in December, I think it was like an early bloody Christmas present. But those bagpipes were the first time I heard that track. That bloody hit so hard, and you incorporated it that so well into the track. And then that film clip for it as well was just absolutely unreal. And I think kind of after the making of the shrine, we're all kind of coming out of that shit at the time and then being able to make this album. It just felt like a little bit more of a release for you guys as well, and being able to have that connection, I suppose, a little bit more with the fans and the audience, and kind of resembles that a bit, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like this album was like written on tour mostly, and even recorded on tour. We were writing and recording in backstage venues, like the backstage of venues, and on the bus, and just random places. We didn't really do it all in the one place, so I think that kind of helps the feel of it and gives it a bit of personality.
Yeah, so how do you manage that? Because you guys are known for that relentless work ethic, and it's showing in the amount of concerts and gigs you playing, but also in the growth of you guys as a band. How has this determination fueled the band's evolution and success over the years, you feel?
But we just love it, man. We love playing shows. That's what it's about. Like writing's fun. Recording sucks because you're just sitting in front of a computer trying to play things perfectly. But like live is where it's at for us, man. That's where the energy is, and just seeing like feeding off other people's energy is what keeps us going. But that's why we do it, man. We just want to be on tour all the time.
Yeah, and I really dug that Edge of Infinity track, and it kind of showcases some real dynamic shifts, from that acoustic intro to that real explosive crescendo and how it finished. Tell me a little bit about that track, because I'm a sucker for a closer track, and that one just fuck, dude.
I think it was one of the last ones to get written for the album, but we felt it was missing something more melodic, and we've not really done anything like based around acoustic like that. But yeah, we just sort of went with it, giving it bringing out the sort of dime bag stuff in the intro and like showing the Pantera influence early on. But yeah, then it worked up to like strings, and we felt like it just needed something to make it bigger. So we got Simon, who did the strings on the last album, do it again, and again he smashed it. It just takes that to the next level sonically and just brings it up to another level. But I love that song. I love Rubia's solo. Dan Weller from Sixth actually plays piano on it too. That's how the album finishes. Is like a beautiful piano part that he's written. So yeah, it's just very different for us, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah, well, Dan, was he doing? Who tell me a little bit about the producing side of things? Because you did work with Dan, I believe, was it as the producer there, and you had talents like also Adam Get Good as well. I got to mention of Periphery, and tell me a little bit about working with those guys as well.
Yeah, we got Nolly back. I can't imagine not working with Nolly at this stage. He just knows exactly what we're about. We know what he's about. We just get on so well. We're in a flow now. This is the fourth album we've done with him, I think, maybe more. But yeah, him and Ali just work so well together with drums, and he's such a master of like drum tones. So yeah, got him involved in the drums again. And at the same time, we had Dan Weller from Sick do vocal production with Scott. Scott's never really worked with another vocal producer outside of the band. It's usually him and Steven that work together, which has always been great. But he just wanted to like come out of his comfort zone for this album and try something a bit different. The same way, like the mixer, we wanted to try someone different. It's been Nolly for the last three albums, so he was like well on board with us, like trying someone new. He was like proper behind it, so and he suggested some people too. So it was cool to get Ehrman involved too, is from Australia, and yeah, he absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, it's an absolutely bloody ripping album. I didn't think you could top Shrine, but Zenith, like I am absolutely digging it. As the you guys prepare for the album release, you got any tours at the moment? Are you on the road? What's happening there? Can you say anything?
We're gearing up to go on tour in the States with Built for My Valentine, Trivium, and August Burns Red.
Yep.
Silosis actually doing the first half of that, so Ali's leaving like today, I think, and then we join the tour halfway through and take over. So that'll be the first thing. But yeah, Ali will be in the States, and we'll all be in Scotland when the album gets released, which is like kind of sad that we won't all be together. But I'm
Yep.
sure we'll have a Zoom party or something. I don't know, pretend it's COVID again, whatever. But yeah, we've got that. Then we've got some festivals. Then our big headline tour end of the year in UK and Europe,
Yep.
which is the big thing we've been working towards for the last few years, like supporting, and this is like our time to shine. So that's the big thing at the end of the year. But we might have another little surprise tour before then, somewhere near you, but that's not been announced yet. So I'll keep that
Yeah.
to myself.
You got to keep your eyes and ears peeled. It's hard with doing that. You got to get in the whole Asia area and everything else as well. But everybody's got to go out and bloody grab this latest album, Zenith from Bleed From Within. Don't just stream it, buy the album, and then stream the bloody hell out of it for the neighbours as well, because they are going to want to hear it, mate. Do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in?
Thanks for all the support. Grab the album, bleedfromwithin.com. If you're in Europe, come see the headline tour. If you're in Australia, then we might see you soon. So yeah.
That's it. Awesome. Cheers, mate. Thank you so very much.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.